Well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Let's see what kind of deals are out there on Thingino compatible devices for Black Friday.
Beans, if they're good for your heart, the more you eat, the more you fart.
Hey guys, it's Josh from the WL Tech Blog. We're going to keep this one kind of quick today. We're just going to go over a couple of the recommended cameras for Thingino that you can get for really good deals on Black Friday over at Amazon. And these are all going to be devices that I've covered in the past, so we're going to do a quick overview and we're going to talk about what their price normally is and what you should expect to pay. We're going to get started with what I believe is the flagship device for Thingino, and that is the WUUK wired pan and tilt cam pro. And this one has a they call it a 4 megapixel sensor. You know, they make up all the numbers, but this one has a higher than 1080p resolution video. It has really good night vision. It has pan tilt. None of these actually have zoom, but they still put Z in there. And it is a really good camera. It's really well made and is very well supported by the Thingino project. I've seen this camera for as much as about 30 bucks, and this one I bought for $20.70 right now with the Black Friday pricing. Now, as it's been common with some of these cameras lately, there are multiple sensor options available, and both of them are basically the same as far as the specifications go, but they do take a different firmware. But switching between them is super easy with Thingino. Anyway, here is the WUUK. Now, the downside to the WUUK is it is a indoor only camera. It is not rated for outdoor use. So if you're looking for something to use outdoor, the recommendation that I have is the WansView W7. And again, that's going to be a camera that has two firmwares, but again, also is very easy to switch between them. Now for the W7, the normal price on that is around $30. I've seen it pretty regularly for about $26, and right now on Amazon it is $23. I've bought quite a few of these cameras, and actually the only cameras I have currently deployed in a fixed place are W7s. I've got 3 of them in different places. One of them is actually my bench cam that I use for when I'm doing top-down recording for videos. This one is a 1080p camera. The image quality is pretty good, not as good as the WUUK, but if you need something outdoor, this is definitely the camera that I would recommend. It does have the pan and tilt and has a pretty reasonable light on it, as well as the infrared. Now, the last camera that we're going to talk about is the Thingino D1. This is the 2K version. They have a 3K version, which uses a different processor. It is still a Ingenic base, but it's their new X-Burst 2 architecture, which we do not have support for yet. So definitely, if you're getting a Thingino, make sure you're getting the D1 2K. The 3K version also costs almost twice as much. Anyways, this one, the normal price on it, they claim is $20. I've never seen it on sale for $20. I've bought several of these, and the price I've paid is between $12 and $15 based on what coupons they have. Today, it's actually $15, and they're giving me a 10% coupon. So not an amazing deal, but the price is going to be changing. They change their coupon every day or every other day. So keep an eye out on this. If you can get it for $10, $12, you're going to be getting a really great deal. I paid, like I said, about $15, and a couple of them I paid closer to $10. This one is a easy to use camera. It's easy to disassemble. It's easy to put Thingino on. So this one is a 1080p camera. It is definitely not as good image quality as you're going to get with the WUUK, but it's also an indoor only cam. The big thing this one has going for it is that it's cheap. If you wanted to get started in Thingino, but you didn't want to put much money into it because you weren't sure if you're going to like it, this is definitely an easy pill to swallow. The WUUK's only a few dollars more. You get a lot more for that money, but when you're just thinking about getting into it, this will still be a perfectly usable camera, just not quite as good quality as what you're going to get with the WUUK. Now, of course, all 3 of the cameras that we talked about are brand new. If you happen to be in the UK, you may find that you're able to get some good deals on some used cams. The Neos brand, the Smart Cam, which I've done a couple of videos on, since Neos shut down their service, those cams are probably going to be easy to find for really low prices on eBay, Craigslist, etc., any kind of used market. And those are basically just a Wisecam version 2 with slightly different firmware, and they are really good for running our Thingino firmware. If you can get those for a couple of bucks each, that'd be a really cool way to get started. It's still going to be at 1080p, although a slightly better than some of the other cams sensor, but still just 1080p resolution. It is not pan and tilt, but it's just fine. It definitely can do some useful work, and if you can get them for cheap, I bought a bag of the Wisecam version 2s, and there were 6 cams in there. I think I paid about $2 to $3 each for them, so that was a really good deal for me. And you might be able to find something similar because these cams are headed to the scrapyard. Now, all the cams that we've mentioned in this video, I do have install videos on that will show you how to do the installation of the firmware without having to disassemble the camera. These cameras are all upgraded via the SD card, so they're really easy to get started with. As I mentioned, these are all really well supported by the Thingino project and really well priced, especially with some of these Black Friday sales. So again, if you're looking to get started, if you want a good indoor cam, go with the WUUK. If you want a cheap indoor cam, you can go with the Thingino. And if you want an outdoor cam, the WansView W7 is the cam of choice. If you happen to be somewhere that WansView is not sold, the GalaU Y4 is the same camera and even runs the same firmware. So definitely keep an eye out for that one. All right, well, we're going to keep this one short. That's going to wrap it up. Go ahead and put any questions or comments down below. If you want to hang out with us on Discord, the link for that is down in the description, as well as links for all the cameras that I mentioned in this video. So definitely check that out, and appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of this kind of content. And until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.